Hey, how good did the Colts offense look the first two drives against the Steelers? Right? With Anthony Richardson on the field, that offense looked really good. Now, with Richardson off the field, it kind of took a step back. It became more pedestrian. It's important to have Richardson available, but it's also important to have Richardson playing Anthony Richardson football. How do you do that? How do you get him to play the way he plays with the aggression that he plays with, while at the same time keeping himself safe from harm? We asked Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, that question and oh so many more.
Obviously a lot of the guys at the wide receiver room have had big moments. Why do you think there's been just a little bit off with AD Mitchell, whether it's AR or Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think it's one of those sort of small sample size things. It's early in the season. Different guys have sort of had big moments, big games, like you've talked about. We've had some really good plays being made out there, especially in that receiver room. And for AD, you just look at his body of work individually. He's doing such a great job of sort of winning some of those one-on-ones and getting open and separating, and just hasn't quite happened as often as any of us would have liked quite yet. I think a little bit of that is the flow of the season. A week or two back, I think I told y'all, sort of trust me, AD's going to make some big plays for us this year. I still feel that way. I mean, he's out there competing, and like I said, a lot of times as a wide receiver, you're doing one of a couple things. You're trying to win a one-on-one, sort of get open, separate versus DB, or you're trying to sort of find that good spot to sit versus zone. In this league, to go win a nice one-on-one at wide receiver, that's really important in this league, and he's doing that. He's out there executing his routes and sort of beating defenders and studying defenders as the week goes. That tends to pay off for a receiver in this league, and I think it will for AD. We'll keep working around here. It's September just turned to October, and we got some work to put in. But to AD's credit, when things don't quite go his way, he keeps a positive attitude. He's showing up. He's working every day. He's putting in sort of good work day after day after day. He's fired up for the win as all the rest of us, So we're out here working. The season kind of ebbs and flows, and AD's been really professional with his sort of weekly attitude and weekly adjustments. And we like those good routes that go and get open, and we'll get some of the stuff cleaned up. And like I said, a little bit of small sample size stuff will turn that other way at a certain point.
Nate?
Hey, Jim Bob, you guys got back to running Anthony a little bit more last week, but just curious, do you feel like he needs to slide more? Are there certain situations where you want to see that versus others? And how much room is there during the week when you're game planning to either work on a slide, practice it, think through that? What's that process like?
It's, I think even going way back through the offseason and training camp, we had a lot of discussions, with you guys around the office, all that good stuff. We've sort of covered all the bases on this thing. It's you have to be careful taking the competitiveness out of a great competitor, and Anthony, when he's out there competing like crazy, we're constantly working to coach all our guys. Anthony obviously being a key one of those guys, and we're talking through all the details of everything that's going on in the field. But as a coach, as a coaching staff, it's a delicate balance with us trying to sort of get the best ball out of those guys and sort of coach them to play their absolute best football, without taking away that competitive instinct. So it's a constant discussion. Obviously there's going to be certain times when it pops up more than others. I think Anthony told you guys he's out there playing football. It is a sport where, you're going to take off and run. You might scramble on a play. You might move on a play. You're going to have to sort of instinctively act very, very quickly in the moment, and sort of compete, right? Compete. So we'll keep having those discussions around here. We'll keep sort of talking through it. But it's one of those just sort of discussions and things where we're trying to be conscious of the way we work with our guys.
Joel?
Hey, Jim Bob, what'd you guys see out of Tanner Bortolini?
Yeah, Bort, man, first game. He was damn sure excited to be out there. The memorable sort of clip, the memorable experience was we had that opening drive touchdown, which was obviously a great drive by all our guys. Had a lot of good plays in there. Bort came flying off the field, running by everybody. He was so excited. Just sort of he played a good drive. He had done some good things, and he was excited for the team. We're trying to get the GPS data on that top speed there. I think that would be his top speed of the day right there. But no, he did some really good things. For a young player going in playing his first real game, first real action. For a young center, I'll sort of specifically dive in like. Here come the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? That's a great defense. That's a great front. There's a lot of plays when you play the Steelers and you're a center, when you are covered up by a nose who's a good player and you're sort of battling play after play after play against a good player and a good front, making some calls. Those guys make you make certain adjustments and identifications that we ask sort of our centers to make. Bort did a great job, especially for his first game. I think there's some things he learned. There's some things he got better as the game went on. But we were fired up that he was able to go in there and sort of execute the role of the center. And you didn't see a lot of issues out there. For a young player, I think the guys sort of worked well with him, communicating, and all those guys were talking up front. So it was good to see him sort of take advantage of his opportunity to go play good football. And any player out there in the NFL, when you're not starting week after week after week, you get that opportunity. You want to go play good football, and I think Bort did that. Now we'll continue working with him, and he's going to grow a bunch like all our rookies will, all our young guys will. But we were pleased. We were pleased with Bort.
George.
Hey, Jim Bob, looked like it was kind of a unique motion with Josh Downs in the backfield a couple times on Sunday. Is it something you guys try to change up from time to time? And how long has that one been a part of your bag?
Yeah, we've been messing around with it. There's certain motion rules in this league, but I think it's pretty much as long as you're not going forward when the ball snapped, you can do all the side to side stuff you can draw up. So Josh has done a good job kind of working through the process of trying all those things out with us. It's probably not the most fun thing in the world to do on half these motions. He's running all over the place and the ball's going somewhere else, but that does pay off for him in the moment like it just did. And sort of that, working across the field, coming back out, Josh, it's really not a lot different than running a route, right? You're running with pretty good speed. You stick your foot in the ground, you turn and go the other way, which he actually did twice on that play in totality. There's just a lot of similarities to route running there. And then ultimately you're going out there and you're running whatever route that is, and you're trying to get open. And, he found a little window in there, and Flacco found him. And then, the key part of that whole play, I think it wasn't the motion. It wasn't all that, that's all fun and good to look at, but it was making a nice tough catch with the defender bearing down. And Josh did that. That was cool to see. Like I said, cool to see Joe find him in there, just that little window. So we'll keep experimenting with stuff. That's the beauty of our job, is we're able to sort of take these great players and take these guys that are really open to trying stuff and see if we can't find a little bit of an advantage on a defense that way, create a miscommunication or something like that.
And then we'll take our last question from JJ.
Hey, Jim Bob, I think I counted 14 times you had a tight end get their hands on Watt during the game Sunday. Like, for that group to be as unselfish as they are, how has Mo Alley Cox kind of set the tone in that room of like, hey, we're going to do whatever it takes to win, even if it means we're not going to get a ton of targets because we got to keep 90 out of the pocket?
Yeah, what an unselfish group that tight end room is. They are all about the team. They are all about getting the win. Last week at this time, you guys were asking me about TJ Watt and how great of a player he was, and how we had to sort of put together a game plan to maybe slow him down a little bit and give us the best chance to win. And, part of that game plan, at least last week, was, hey, tight ends, you got to help slow him down off the line. You got to sort of work in the best technique we can figure out for that particular week to slow him down off the line. It's going to be unselfish. It's probably going to be all of you. and you may have to sacrifice, running a great route after that in order to sort of help slow him down so the pocket's a little bit cleaner, so the quarterback can maybe throw it somewhere else. That group took on that task with great sort of enthusiasm and zeal. And, the most fun part of that thing is, Ogletree had one, and, that was a really tough assignment we asked of him there. He was really helping on Watt, and then he had to bust it out of there and go run that route because we had a little mesh play going with Pitt. And so that was probably the most difficult one of the week, where Andrew Ogletree had to really focus on the details of his job there. And he was doing it from a, totally team-oriented, unselfish manner. And just so happened that the Steelers happened to let him loose, drop him on that play, and he got a touchdown out of it. So it was really a pretty cool payoff for that room. They put a ton of work in. Those guys are, working their ass off, and Coach Tom Manning does a great job working with them, and they're all about getting the win. They're so fired up. We got our win, and whatever it takes to do, whether it's sort of blocking, route running, all that stuff. Those guys are up for it. And specifically, you asked about Mo. Mo really sets the tone in there. He's been around here a while, right? He's seen a lot of things. He's a very, very respected vet in our locker room, and vet just around the NFL. I know, talk to other guys. They really respect how Mo plays and how he carries himself and handles himself. That room, sort of every room sort of rolls with the punches of its leader, of its veteran, of its respected vet, and couldn't ask for a guy to set a better example than Mo. Those guys show up every single day. They work hard. They learn their role. Sometimes we're dressing 3 or 4 of those guys, and they have different roles. And I'm sure sometime one of them wants to run a route that the other one's getting to run, but they just show up and keep working and go execute their role and try to help the Colts get a win. And that's a cool thing to see. And it's a great room to work with. We love those guys.
I love the way Jim Bob Cooter talks about the tight ends, the way that they're selfless, because they are selfless. This is a really, really good group, and it's great to see a guy like Drew Ogletree get rewarded with that touchdown catch, 15-yard touchdown catch. That was badass. That was really fun for those guys. Will Mallory and Ogletree and Woods when he's healthy, and Mo Ali Cox and Kylan Granson, those guys, you know what? They play selfless football, and they gotta, because none of them is Travis Kelce. And so as in the aggregate, that position group needs to operate at a high level, right? Week to week, they got to be good. And the answer about A.D. Mitchell is a rookie, and he needs to learn how to be a professional. That's the he's got to get to from here. And we'll kind of chart this from week to week, but you can tell through Cooter's answer that they're not entirely transfixed and thrilled with the way A.D. Mitchell is playing football right now.